Hey, Jordan Bench here, jordanbench.com. In this video, I just want to give you a simple overview of what a intermittent fasting schedule could look like. So this is really going to benefit you if you are someone who is a beginner, or if you're just looking to get started with this, or maybe you have started already, but maybe you're just trying to get a better idea of just how many days you can do intermittent fasting and just what that could possibly look like. So just so you know, right off the bat, I'm just going to tell you like straight up, I don't look at intermittent fasting as something that like I have to do. It's just something that like I want to do. And really there's no strict guidelines in which and how you do it. At least that is with for me. I know that there are some people that, say you have to do intermittent fasting every single day. And then there are other ones who say, you don't want to go too long. But really for me, I'm just kind of what's going to work best for your schedule. All right. Now I know that like what I want to do is I want to make it to where I can do it, but yet I can still live like a healthy, balanced lifestyle to where I'm not going to be overwhelmed with, the fact that, oh, well, I have to do intermittent fasting, so it's going to ruin this or ruin that. So the whole idea is that you just simply start to do intermittent fasting, and that if you can get it in like once or twice a week, then that's great, because that's better than not doing it at all. So first of all, I would kind of have that mindset. Now, if you're someone who is just getting started, I typically recommend that they try doing it 2 to 3 times a week. Just because it's a completely different like lifestyle change that you're doing. A lot of times you're used to eating, let's say 4, 5, 6 meals a day if you include snacks and stuff. And when you break it down into like 3 meals or even 2 meals, it really changes things. And especially when you're not used to when you're used to eating breakfast or just throughout the day, and then you're removing those meals. So it's just sometimes it's like a shock to your system. You're just not used to it. So I like to like introduce you to like 2 to 3 days a week. Now, the way that I look at this is if you're gonna do it, I would typically like if you're doing 2 to 3 times a week, I would space it out. So let's say you're doing 2 times a week, then you could easily do say Tuesday, and you could do Thursday or Friday, one of those days. So you just space it out throughout the week. If you're doing 3 times a week, then you could easily have, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the rest of the days you're not doing intermittent fasting. So on those 3 days you are, the other 4 days you're not. So that right there is just kind of like an easy way for you just to get started doing it. You're spacing it out, so that way you're still benefiting in that sense. Now, once you want to take it over, say 3 times, and now you're going to, 4 times a week, then 4 to 5 times a week. Then what I typically like to do is I like to put the intermittent fasting days closer together. So just so you know, like I typically do intermittent fasting like 5 times a week, and then I have my weekends off. So I go Monday all the way through Friday, where I do intermittent fasting, and then the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, I have those days off. So what I typically do, like on the days that I have off, I still it's not intermittent fasting, but I'm still giving my digestive system a break, because I am focused on gut health. To me, that is why I got started with intermittent fasting in the first place. So what I do is I actually drink keto coffee, or like what's called Bulletproof coffee. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and search my YouTube channel. I've already like posted several videos on these already. I'll actually just go ahead and post a couple links in the description below, just so you can have that as a reference. But I'll have that, so I'm getting like a high dose of fat on the days that I'm not fasting. I'm doing that kind of like instead, getting like a high dose of fat in there. And I will say this too. I used to do intermittent fasting 7 days a week, and really you could do intermittent fasting 7 days a week if you want to. Like, I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. It's just you have to be aware of how many calories you're getting. So because I was eating 2 meals a day, and I still eat 2 meals a day when I'm doing intermittent fasting, the meals I was having, they weren't like humongous large meals. When you do intermittent fasting, a lot of times like your stomach begins to shrink, so you can't eat as much, which is one of the reasons why you were able to lose weight, because your stomach shrinks, you're not eating as much, you're not overeating, you're not like going crazy on calories, so you're able to lose weight that way. The thing is though, when you're doing it 7 days a week and you do it week after week after week, what happens is you really start to get in these calorie deficits. Now, if you're someone who doesn't have a whole lot of weight to lose, then like for me, I really didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose in the first place. And as I'm doing this, I noticed that my hunger really started to kick up. So I started realizing like I was just kind of too low on my calories throughout that 7 days, and just doing that consecutively week after week after week. So I actually backed off of doing 7 days a week and then doing it 5 days. So that way I was able to get more calories in on the weekends. So think of it like this. It's not necessarily carb cycling, but I guess you could look at it kind of like on a macro sense, to where, 5 days a week I'm like under in calories, and then the next 2 days I have more calories in. So if you look at a week, standpoint, calorie wise, I'm not getting like out of balance with it. Now, if you're someone who does have like weight to lose, then I don't see a problem with you doing 7 days a week of why you could be doing it. I don't see that there's a problem with it. You ultimately have to be the best judge of this, and this is really all up to you. There's really not, like I said, it's not like set in stone on you have to do it this way or you have to do it that way. It's just, if you're a beginner, I like to ease you into it just so you get used to doing intermittent fasting in the first place, because it can be kind of intimidating. And then I like to like add in more days of doing intermittent fasting. So if you're starting off with 2 or 3 days, then after some time, then go ahead and add another day in, and then you can add another day in. So for me, I have found 5 days a week is like a sweet spot for me. If I go 7 days a week, then typically I start noticing I'm getting hungrier and hungrier, which that's not what I want. I want to be balanced. I don't want to get like out of whack with all this stuff. And I want to make it to where I'm not like bound and constrained by doing like a intermittent fasting plan. I still want to have leniency. I still want to be able to like enjoy myself. Like say I want to go out for breakfast, right? I still want to be able to do that. So I have to schedule things around, and I'm okay if I, let's say the one day I don't do intermittent fasting. I'm okay if I don't do it. It's like, it's not going to make or break me, because I've already set in my mind that I'm trying to make this more of a balanced lifestyle. So really the whole idea is that you just start doing intermittent fasting, and if you can get it in a couple times a week, then that's better than not doing it at all. So hopefully I'm making sense with all this. It's more of like doing what's best for you if you're just getting started, versus if you're someone who's more of a beginner, you've been doing intermittent fasting now for a while. You just have to like judge it for yourself. So I hope this video has actually helped you. I hope it's given you like a better idea of how to do it. I did not cover like the specific intermittent fasting windows. I've done that in other videos. So if you're curious on if you need to do like a 16-hour fast, maybe like a 12 to 14-hour fast, or maybe it's an 18 or 20. I do a 20-hour fast, but I progressed months and months to get to the 20-hour fast now. So if you're a beginner, I don't recommend you doing that. And I'm not going to cover this in this video. This is just simply showing you the amount of days that you can do intermittent fasting. So if this video has helped you, go ahead and give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have any questions for me on intermittent fasting, go ahead and comment below. And also, I just want to say one more thing too. I have a leaky gut quiz that I have created, and I got started doing intermittent fasting because I found out I had what's called a leaky gut. So to me, there are several different things you can do to help heal leaky gut, and leaky gut is basically to where your digestive system kind of gets out of whack, and you start noticing all these other areas of like health problems that start to like show up. And I was able to link it all to leaky gut. So I started doing intermittent fasting to help fix that, not necessarily for all like the weight loss benefits or even the fat loss benefits. I started doing it for the health benefits. So I have a leaky gut quiz. I will link that below. Go ahead and take it, and go ahead and comment what score you get to if you feel like you like to. Anyways, I will see you in the next video.